Here we are with State Assembly candidate Jackie Weimmer, of course, a Bayonne 2nd Ward Councilwoman. So we just want to first just ask you, obviously you've been about half a term, more or less, on the council. What made you decide to pursue a seat to represent the legislature here in Trenton, of course, in the Bayonne, Kearney, and south side of Jersey City sections of the district?
John, I looked at it as a way to do more. It was a way to continue to help the community, to look at the laws and legislation that is affecting us each and every day, what is upcoming, what has happened in the past, and the opportunity presented itself. In Mayor Phillip coming to me, gubernatorial candidate Stephen Phillip coming to me, asking me, telling me it was something he thought I could do, thought I should do, and thought I'd be good at it. So here I am.
Fair enough, then. So obviously you had Mayor Phillip's endorsement at 22, but the interesting part of this race for a lot of people is that so did Bayonne Mayor Jimmy Davis and the rest of the ticket. And now, obviously, you guys are on opposite ends. You're supporting Frank Scileri for sheriff. Mayor Davis is running for sheriff as well with the HCDO. Where does this put your mindset or your mentality heading into the race?
So you're right. We did have the support of Mayor Phillip. I'm a loyal person. If you continue to go down the path that I think and feel is right for myself and right for the rest of our voters, in 2022, I believed that Mayor Davis's intentions were right for him. It is now 2025. I believe that the governor's race is good for Mayor Phillip. I believe that the Sheriff Scileri, is good being sheriff. Excuse me. I think it is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. He's doing quite well for a number of years now. And I have faith in who the sheriff is, what he stands for, and what he's done for our community. So it is what I think would be a good move for the residents of this portion of Hudson County.
Okay, cool. Now, when we're talking about the sheriff's race a little bit, obviously, like that first week right before the filing deadline, Scileri came out pretty hard against Davis. We talked about that sexting scandal. He talked about these two lawsuits. One is still in court as we speak. What do you think about that whole predicament and, some of those issues that he brought back to the public eye?
Yeah, so officially I represent the city of Bayonne, so I really don't want to comment on any ongoing litigation or an investigation. What I will say is that as a woman and a mother, I feel that every woman deserves to be treated with respect and dignity. I feel like conduct of such a nature is really not becoming of a professional, an elected official, certainly, but with the caveat that I was not there, I didn't witness it for myself. I would hope, that it is not true. I am cautiously optimistic.
All right, then. Now, on the legislative side, the Trenton business, the state business for the district. Actually, I was a few minutes late here. I would have got here even earlier, but Bill O'Day put out an interesting release, I thought, where he's saying that the Federal Aviation Administration should close the Kearney heliport because of the dangers that exist from these helicopters when it's, for the business side of things as opposed to official government business. So where do you stand with all this unfortunate, in light of this unfortunate tragedy that happened on Thursday?
John, I think there has been a rash of recent accidents, injuries and deaths in the aviation industry. I do think we need some greater controls. I think that companies that are operating these planes and helicopters, tour companies, anything of that nature, airlines, really need to put the people first. They need to be up to date on maintenance, updated air vehicles, transport vehicles, things of that nature. Whether I think it is to shut them down or just have greater control and greater oversight remains to be seen. I'm certainly not an expert in the aviation industry, but I absolutely think there should be greater investigation, greater oversight to protect our residents.
Sure. Now, but we're talking about that, of course, this is in light of the tragedy, but on the more general, broad side, if you do get the chance to serve, the pleasure to serve, what are maybe 2 or 3 bills you'd like to put up in short order, let's say your first 6 months or so?
Sure. So something very near and dear to my heart, obviously, um, Medicare and Medicaid refunding. Our Veterans Affairs really lacking funding. Um, the potential for the grants and funding for our food banks, or the community grants that come in and directly affect the people. I need to ensure that they are still there. Quite honestly, I'd like to see bail reform repealed and revised. We need to protect our citizens. We need to lessen crime. Our gun laws need to get a little bit stricter. 2 or 3 I can't give you, 10 I can. We need a lot, Don, we need a lot. And I do think education, special education funding, everything that goes in line with our seniors, our disabled, our veterans, and those that can't fight for themselves. That is something I intend to take a very, very in-depth look at.
So on the point of education, I mean, you just mentioned a lot, but on the point of education, I know your running mate, Assemblywoman Barbara McCann-Stamato, she said that she wouldn't support the budget if those cuts to the Jersey City Public Schools and the Bayonne Public Schools remained. Would you concur with that?
I think I'd have to look at everything as a whole. I look at our district and our community as a whole. Both Jersey City, Bayonne, and Kearney are very diverse areas. You go from upper middle class America to those that really rely on the funding and grants from the community. And so I would look at that as a whole and really try to determine what is best for the community. I can't necessarily say I wouldn't support it. I'd be very, very disappointed if we had cuts in any of those areas, because I think every single one of those areas need it.
All right, very good. And just any closing thoughts? I mean, anything else on your mind you want to throw out there before we go here?
John, I'm a fighter. It's what I do. I live to help someone else. I think that there needs to be greater advocacy in Trenton for this community. This community cannot withstand budget cuts to programs that fund our seniors, our disabled, and those that are in need. So we really need to have someone that puts the community first, not someone that thinks of themselves first. And that is truly myself, truly me. And that's what I hope to do.